I'm frying a little catfish for lunch today, catfish and french fries. And I've got about 4 large fillets. I'm going to cut those in half and add a little salt and pepper to them and roll them in some cornmeal. And people often ask me, what is the best oil for frying fish? Deep frying fish. And the things that you have to look for to deep fry is you want an oil that has a smoke point of at least 450 degrees. You want a mild flavor. You don't want an oil that has a strong flavor. And you want an oil that will not transfer the taste. If you fry 2 different things like fish and chicken, then they won't absorb the taste and pass it on to the next thing that's cooked. So my opinion for the best oil to deep fry fish is either canola oil or peanut oil, which is what I've always used, is peanut oil, and that's what I'm using today, or sunflower oil and safflower oil. Now those are 2 that I rarely use. It's just not something that I use, though they're very good. I have in the past used them, but I just prefer peanut oil and canola oil are my 2 favorites. So I'm going to use a Dutch oven to fry today. And I'm going to turn the burner on as high as it'll go. And I'm going to add enough peanut oil. This is the Luana brand. So I'm not frying a whole lot, but I think if I fill the Dutch oven about halfway, I'm going to have plenty of oil in there to deep fry this fish. I'm going to add a little salt and pepper to the fish. Now there are many ways that you can prepare the fish. A lot of people use a breading where you dip it in beaten egg yolk and then into some sort of batter, flour batter. And I've done that before, but I like to do shrimp that way. Fish, I like to have a lighter batter, so I'm just going to dip it into cornmeal. And I have about 4 fairly large potatoes cut up over here into slices, and I've added salt and pepper, so I'm going to cook those as soon as I've cooked the fish. And while we're waiting for the oil to get very hot, we want it as hot as we can get it over this stove, over the gas stove. I'm going to get a platter ready for the fish by putting some paper towel on it, because we do want to drain the fish very well after it's cooked, as soon as it comes out of the oil. Now there are other good oils that could be used to fry fish, like the grape seed oil, which is also recommended to use for seasoning cast iron, but I've never used it, so I can't really tell you how it works, whether it's good or not. Be sure whatever oil that you use, check the smoke point on the label of the bottle. It needs to be at least 450 degrees, because I think the highest temperature that I can get here will be about 380 degrees, so that's what we'll cook the fish at. But whatever the highest temperature is, I've never tested it. I just get it as hot as I can. Now, if you can cook outdoors, you can use one of the little fire rings with a big pot, and you can get a much higher heat going there and cook the fish faster. Because if you have the oil hot enough, when you drop the fish in, it's going to sink to the bottom, and as soon as it rises to the top, it's done. So if you're cooking outside on one of those fire rings, the propane rings, I don't know what you call it, but the little stand that's got that you can hook your propane up to, and you cook in a big pot, it is so hot that it only takes a matter of 2 or 3 minutes, I'd say, for a fish fillet like this to cook. Just a very short time. And it'll also depend on the thickness of the fish that you have. You'll be able to tell that the fish is done all the way through. When you break it open, you can tell it's flaky and white. It will be opaque. Our oil is hot now. I dropped a little water into it, and you can tell it starts dancing around. So I'm going to start dropping the fillets in. That I've rolled in the cornmeal. I've torn up the first piece. It's looking good. If you can see, as they're getting done, they're rising to the top. I'm going to let that one cook just a little bit more. this first piece. You can tell it's done because it's flaky. I just can't wait to taste this. That is just absolutely delicious. And I'm going to go ahead and add my potatoes for French fries. I've just peeled these and put salt and pepper on them. And I'm just going to drop them in. We have to be very careful when we're cooking with all this hot, so we don't get burned. If this doesn't look good, I just don't know what does. The potatoes are starting to brown. Okay, I'm going to take the potatoes up now. They're lightly brown. I don't like mine too well done. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and turn off my fire under this. Let it start cooling down. Okay, so be sure and let everybody know it's time to eat. So here we are. It's fried fish and French fries. Don't forget now, when you're choosing the oil for your deep frying, be sure to choose one with a smoke point of 450 degrees at least. There are some oils with a higher smoke point. And be sure and get a mild taste and one that doesn't transfer the taste from one food to the other. If you found this video helpful, please like and share. And thanks for stopping by.